Hello, good to be back after a bit of a break. We've got a new cook along for you here. First thing to do is pop your oven on, about 150 degrees. Get your bread in there. It's going to take about 15 minutes or so, and you can prepare the starter at the same time. So we're going to do probably one of our most requested dishes, or the most requested dish, a dish that people always talk about. And it's based around cauliflower. So it's the weirdest looking dish in the world. It looks really unappealing, but it is delicious. So what we've got here is a piece of cauliflower that I've barbecued and smoked. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pop it through the oven just to kind of reheat it. So I just usually put it on a little tray like this, or you can just put it in a pan or whatever. And pop it in the oven. Same temperature as the bread, so about 150. A similar amount of time as well, 15 minutes is going to kind of dry it out a little bit and just make it perfect to eat. We've got a few other things to serve with it, so I'll just talk you through these. It's a really simple dish actually. So this is just some chive oil. This is some aged parmesan that we've toasted, 36-month old parmesan. This is kind of the key bit to it really. This dish has taken years to develop. I've been cooking it for years and years and years. And we've got to the stage now where it just used to be cooked in butter, the cauliflower, but over time it's developed and now it's barbecued and it's lightly smoked, etc. And then it's covered in cling film, and you get this incredible rich, it looks almost like veal stock that comes out of it from all the browning on the outside of the cauliflower as it sort of steams. And then what I do with that is I reduce it down with cream and add loads and loads of roast yeast to it and a few other things, and you get this incredibly rich sauce. So it's a really, really, really rich start to this. I'm just gonna let the cauliflower cook, and I'll come to you in a minute just to show you how to plate. So my cauliflower is done. Still looks terrible, I know, but we'll get there. The sauce, I just warmed it in the microwave. Just give it a quick stir in between. Probably take about 30-40 seconds, maybe a bit more. You just want to heat it, that's all. For plating it's really easy. We just put some of the sauce in the middle. Pop this on top. More sauce on top. The sauce is extremely strong, so don't go absolutely crazy with it, but do be generous. And then we're just going to finish it with some chive oil. And a little bit of toasted parmesan. Should just break up. You can just put it on like that, but I just prefer to break it up into shards. There you go. So I'm going to run off now and stuff my face with this because it's one of my favourite dishes. And I'll come back and see you for the main course. On to our main course. We've got some lovely dry-aged duck breast here. We're going to cook it partially in the pan, partially in the oven. So first of all, I've got a pan. It's completely cool. I'm going to put it on initially a high heat, so I'll take it right up to temperature. Put the duck in like that when it's completely cold. And what we want to do is we want to render as much of the fat out of it as possible. So I'm going to take the heat up, and then we'll put it to sort of 3/4 heat. So say if your thing goes up to 10, you want it on 7 or 8. And what you're looking for is you're looking to brown it in about 3 or 4 minutes. Too much longer than that and you'll start to cook the flesh. When it starts to brown, you're going to get a spoon. And what we do is we press it in the middle like that because it curls up and basically stops the middle of the breast from touching the pan. So just kind of pop that on there so it's nice and flat. Obviously don't burn yourself. And if you come back to me in a minute, I'll show you when it's been perfectly rendered. Right, so this has been rendering now for 3 or 4 minutes. It's got a little bit of darkness on there, which is okay. You don't want it any darker than that at all. Now we're going to pop it into a hot oven, 200 degrees, to let it cook. Before I do that though, I'm just going to pop the potato terrine in there as well. Put the terrine in, put in a little bit of the duck fat, and we're just going to monitor it and cook it at the same time. So we want to crisp it on both sides, but I'll come back to you in a minute. So with these ducks, we can't really specify the size of the breast that we get. So they do vary slightly, and obviously that affects the cooking time. So if you weigh it and your breast is about 150, 160 grams, it's probably going to take 6 minutes and then a 6-minute rest. If it's larger than that, say 200, you might need 7 or 8 minutes. So basically, I'm going to show you now what it should look like when you're actually touching it, what it shouldn't look like and what it should look like. And don't worry about it, don't overcook it, don't put it in for any extra thinking, oh, you know, I've got to make sure it's cooked. If it's undercooked, it doesn't matter. We're going to slice it down the middle and you can pop it back in the oven for a minute until it is perfectly cooked. But I'll just show you in a minute what I'm talking about with the movement of it. So, as you can see here, this is very soft. Okay, so that's really rare. I'm going to check it after a few more minutes. And what you're looking for is you're looking for it to give a little bit, but then sort of bounce back. So if you can see that, it's quite soft. It's not really bouncing straight back. It should have a tautness to it, a tightness to it. And essentially what you're looking for, if you've got a thermometer, as a lot of people do these days, you want to cook it to about 52 degrees. So ideally, if you've got a thermometer, a probe, cook it to 52 degrees in the centre and then rest it for the same amount of time roughly as you cooked it for. Duck, if you see it's going to be cooked sort of medium. It's still got a little bit of give on it. I'm going to season it all over with salt. It's just going to rest for a few minutes, about the same amount of times I've cooked it, 5 minutes or so. The terrine I've crisped up. You've got some Maldon salt, just put a little bit of Maldon salt on top of that as well. So I'll come back to you in another minute when I'm going to plate it all. So I've got some sprouting broccoli here. It is quite woody, so basically just bend it, and then where it snaps, just cut it off. So you just got the tender stuff there. And as I've explained before, the way that we cook vegetables is in an emulsion of butter. So I've just got a pan here with a little bit of water in it, a little bit of butter in it, well, a lot of butter in it actually. And then as soon as it comes to the simmer, I'm going to season it generously with salt. We're going to pop this in, let it start steaming through the lid, and then set a timer for exactly 2 minutes. Knock it down to medium heat, just let that cook through. And then here to go with it, we've got some duck jus that is absolutely delicious. Takes 2 days to make, and this is a particularly good batch actually. We've got some squash puree, some beetroot puree, some of these brambles that I'm going to cut these in half and put a few of them in the actual sauce. So all you need to do now is heat all of this. Now you can do it in the microwave or probably in a pan's better. Just you've got a bit more control over it. And we're going to come back in a minute and I'll show you how it's all plated. So we're just about ready to put everything together. My terrine is done. I'm just going to show you that. So I just kept it warm in the oven while the duck were resting. The oven's been turned on. You can see it's got a nice colour on it. I've warmed the purees up here. This is my jus, which I'm going to warm. Just going to pop the brambles in it as well. Cook these out, these brambles. We're just literally warming them just in the sauce. So I just get the duck ready. So just take a little slice off the end just to kind of let it sit neat on the plate. Just cut it into a couple of pieces of lard. So you want it sort of nice, medium rare. You don't want the duck too rare. Obviously you don't want it too well cooked. Got some of this Maldon salt. Just pop over there. A little bit of Maldon salt over the terrine as well. Now we'll plate it. So start with our duck. Just going to cut this broccoli down a tiny little bit just to fit the plate. A nice crispy terrine. And then we've just got a couple of purees to go with it. So you can just do this in blobs on the plate. That's probably how I do it. I do like this, so I'll be slightly more generous with it actually. Just think beetroot and duck's such a lovely combination. Now we just finish it with some jus. A little bit more gravy, we are in Yorkshire. And that's it. So that's our aged duck breast, potato terrine, we've got squash, broccoli, beetroot, and a lovely duck jus with some brambles. So on to the dessert now. So you've got our Délice here. Get it out of the fridge quite some time before you want to serve it, 15 minutes or so. It'll just help it soften up, improve the texture. It'll go a little bit hazy. It's not going to change how it tastes or anything. If you want to, you can use one of those little Cook's blow torches. It's what they do in restaurants, and just run it over the surface of it around the sides, and it'll make it go glossy. Or one of these, possibly a lighter, but you probably burn your fingers if you did that. You get the idea anyway. So yeah, be generous with the Maldon salt on top of there. I'm just going to put some cherries on. We've only got a few because we actually ran out of them. So you've got more, so just use all the cherries that you've got. These have been marinated in Pedro Jimenez sherry as well, which is one of my favourite ingredients. I absolutely love it. And then we just got a little tuile on here that's just made from lime. Let's pop that on there. There you go. It's actually chocolate Délice with cherries in Pedro Jimenez and a lime tuile. We hope you enjoyed your meals, guys. Please tag us on social media, The Kitchen and Cook on Instagram, my personal Facebook page, or the Gourmet Dining Room. We'd love to see your meals. Thank you for watching. See you later. Take care.